What's up, Grayson Report? Electric Bigelow too, because I forgot to hit the live button the first time, so I was talking to myself. But anyways, happy Thursday. That's how tired I am. Happy Thursday. How's everyone doing? What is up, Tammy, Emily, Wendy Corn, Carol, Julissa, Denny Rose? How's everyone doing while we wait for people to trickle in? And I did not promote this stream either. That's how busy I was today. Usually I promote, but I didn't. But oh well. How's everyone doing? Did anyone do anything interesting or watched anything interesting over the week? While we wait for people to trickle in. I'm tired too. Today I am tired. I was running around. Thank you, Denny Rose, for being a trooper. I appreciate that. Julissa saw Sinners on Saturday. It's good. I want to actually see that, so that's kind of promising, Julissa. It actually had a pretty cool trailer. It didn't really give away much. You kind of left a lot to imagination. It is the same director who's going to reboot the X-Files, as I spoke about last week. I don't know how I feel about that still. I will watch it. I'd give it a I would give it a try. Like I would kind of casually watch it, but I don't think, like I said, nothing can replace David Duchovny or Gillian Anderson. Heather, whatever. What's up? Denny Rose goes to watch the movie with Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock. It was good. Denny also says, I'm trying to remember. I saw many movies lately, but I haven't seen any movies. I've been just watching like TV programs. One good thing is that I'm looking forward to, because I didn't get a chance to see it, is Heart Eyes. I got super excited because I always browse through Netflix. Jennifer Marie, what is up? How's it going? I don't know why my voice cracked, but hey. But Heart Eyes is set to be released on May 8th. So I am looking forward to that. It is coming to Netflix for those of you that have Netflix. May 8th is next week, a week from today. So I am totally looking forward to this. The Sony Pictures Valentine's Day horror rom-com Hard Eyes will be making its SVOD debut on Netflix in the US in May of 2025, following its recent digital VOD and physical rollout in early March and initial theatrical rollout in February. What's on Netflix has learned. Directed by Scare Me and Werewolves Within director Josh Rubin, the movie follows the so-called Heart Eyes killer, I cannot read today, I apologize in advance, who has wreaked havoc on Valentine's Day by stalking and unaliving romantic couples over many years, and continues his spree this year too. Olivia Holt, Mason Gooding, Gigi Zambato, Jordana Brewster, and Devon Sawa are amongst the cast. Devon Sawa was like a major actor way back in the day, in the late 90s, when they came out with a bunch of horror movies. He was in a lot of them, like the teeny bopper horror movies. The movie wasn't a huge hit at the box office, although comfortably surpassed its initial budget of just 18 million, earning close to 33 million in sales. Where it did fare well, however, is with both critical and audience reception. As of the time of writing, the movie holds an impressive 81% rating from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't ever go by the critics of Rotten Tomatoes, because a lot of times they say this movie is amazing, and then I watch it and I'm like, I always use Parasite, for example, and I'm going to still use Parasite, but they're saying Parasite is like the most amazing movie ever. I went to watch it and it was like, have you guys never seen it? And it's a Korean film, right? And it makes me wonder if this was their very first Korean horror film they've ever seen, because there are a lot better ones out there than Parasite. So I never go off of the Rotten Tomatoes score or critics. Kind of, I kind of just I'll watch it for myself, and then that's where I'll decide. With an equally strong 77% rating from audiences, that translates over to IMDb mostly, to where it stands at 6.1 out of 10. I love slasher movies. I even like the cheesy ones, so I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy this film. And it's just another horror film that we can have on Valentine's Day besides My Bloody Valentine. So I'm pretty sure there's other B movies that we haven't heard of that are out there. Um, Most critics praise the film's ability to fuse different genres successfully. CBC Radio's Radhayan Simon Pilal, I am butchering that name, noted in his review that the movie works because it commits to being a fun rom-com despite the slasher mechanics at work. It also speaks to how, in this theatrical economy, the rom-com is under attack and fighting for its survival. When will Hard Eyes stream on Netflix? It's what I said earlier. It will be on May 8th, 2025. It'll stream on Netflix for 18 months before moving to Disney-owned services like Disney Plus or Hulu, or both. That means it'll remain on Netflix through November of 2026. As mentioned, the movie comes to Netflix courtesy of Sony Pictures' first window deal, which sees all theatrical release titles from the distributor throughout 2025 arrive on Netflix within a few months after their initial release. Still to come to Netflix this year are Paddington in Peru, Until Dawn, and Karate Kid Legend. So just keep in mind, it looks like any Sony picture movie, it looks like it's gonna hit Netflix first. So if there is a Sony movie that has come out and you're looking forward to seeing and you have Netflix, just keep an eye out. But I am totally looking forward to that. I cannot wait to see that. So that is on my radar. It's been on my radar, to be honest with you. So, and I'm probably like, that is my favorite subgenre. So I'm probably going to enjoy it regardless. Nerd Report in the house. So that would be a movie that I could watch. Emily Parkinson's goes, critics suck. I'm usually opposite of what they say. I am too. A lot of times they say this movie is super great. Like how I used Parasite an example. That is one of them. And I watched it. And like I said, it's like one of those movies. I felt like no one has ever seen an Asian horror film before. No one. And I'm like, there are a lot of great Asian horror films out there that were way better, that I enjoyed, than Parasite. So Heather Whatever Goes Time Magazine used to do fake reviews, in my opinion. I think some of them do. I think some people do. It just depends. Matthew, what is up? Golden Child Eddie Murphy is getting a 4K Blu-ray in May. Cool. Emily Parkinson, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Welcome Priscilla, Sabrina Hull, Renee Billette, and Busy Mama, and Jennifer Seisman to the sorry guys, to the Wolf Pack. Hearts for Emily Parkinson. Thank you, girl, and to all the new Wolf Pack members. And Gunner Girl, what is up? Also, if you guys are a fan, speaking of Netflix, also too, the final season of You is out on Netflix. I got to watch the first season. I actually kind of did not finish the last season, and I just jumped into it. I think the last season I kind of lost interest in it. Loved the first season. But this past season I kind of just never finished it. And so I started this one. I haven't finished it yet. I did just watch the first season. I'm kind of enjoying it. Um, Jennifer Marie saying you got boring? Who did? Oh, Jennifer Marie goes to the show, not you personally. Yeah, it kind of did. I was like, you, huh? Me? What? It kind of did. I kind of agree with you, Jennifer Marie. That's probably why I didn't finish the last season. The first episode was kind of good. Of this very last season, I'll see if I could watch through it. It started out with a bang with me. I did love the first season, and then after that, it kind of went downhill, like what Jennifer Marie said. No, I didn't think of that way. I was like, who are you talking about, Jennifer? I didn't think it was directed to me, Jennifer Marie. She goes, I would never come into a chat and insult anyone. I didn't think you were, but I was like, huh? Kind of caught me off guard there. I forgot I'm so tired. I forgot what I was talking about. Julissa goes, I started watching the final season of you as well, and you're correct. Season 4 wasn't as good. It just, I don't know. I like the actor. He does an amazing job. Amazing job. But it just wasn't, I don't know, it just lost its appeal for me. And then even kind of going into season 5, like I said, I only watched one episode. It's kind of caught my attention, but I'm kind of just having it in the background type of thing still. So we'll see. We'll see if I'll continue watching it. I know. I am not a fan of Stranger Things, but I know a lot of people are, and it seems like it's been forever. And I'm not like I said, I'm not a fan, but I can feel your guys' pain. It feels like it's been ages since the last one has been out. Like, honestly. Seriously. I think everyone who's a fan of Stranger Things has been like on their edge of their seats waiting for like an announcement or something. It's like, what is taking them so long? I do understand there was that strike, so that has also delayed a bunch of stuff. But still, it's like, come on, like drop half the season like a lot of these other series are doing. Though it's annoying, but they should do something, you know what I mean? All the actors now look like they're 30. Now all the actors look like they're in their 30s, you know, not like, so it's like, come on. By the time it airs, they're all gonna have gray hair. I'm gonna have gray hair. What are you talking about? Renee, what is up? Jennifer Marie goes, once they drop the first half, I'll start this series entirely over so that I finish it by the time the second half drops. That's probably like the best thing to do, because like with what was it with Cobra Kai? Oh my god, it's like you finish the first half and then there was like a 3 month, I don't even remember how many months, but it was like a very long wait. At least with Wednesday, it's only like 3 weeks. So that I don't mind. But oh, also too, if you are a collector of Funko Pops, um, which I am, which you can tell from my background, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds and Rear Window get the Funko Pop treatment. So if you guys are a fan of The Birds and Rear Window, I know of The Birds. I don't think I've ever seen Rear Window. So it'd be kind of cool to get the Birds one. But if you are a fan, they've been functified. Alfred, or Funko Pop-fied. Alfred Hitchcock himself is already a pop, along with Psycho's Norman Bates, and now 2 more of the Masters of Suspense iconic characters are getting Funko treatment. I never got Alfred Hitchcock, and I wanted to get him. The Birds, Melanie Daniels, and Rear Windows Jeff Jeffries are set to join the pop line in June. Tippi Hedren played Melanie in The Birds, making her film debut opposite Rod Taylor, Jessica Tandy, and Suzanne Plachette. In the 1963 film, a couple strikes up a relationship after a chance meeting at a pet store, but paranoia and oh my god, I can't read. Hysteria ensue when all the birds they encounter afterward become violent. Jimmy Stewart starred as Jeff in Rear Window, appearing alongside Grace Kelly, Wendell Corey, Thelma Ritter, and Raymond Burr. In the 1964 film, a bored photographer recovering from a broken leg passes the time by watching his neighbors and begins to suspect one of them of murder. Both classics are among the Hitchcock movies coming to Netflix on June 1st and screening in 35mm at New York City's Paris Theater between May 16th and June 29th. And like I said, if you are a collector of Funko, here is your chance to get them in June. This one looks pretty cool. And like I said, I'm not familiar with the movie Rear Window because I've never seen it. But that is super cool. I still need to get Alfred Hitchcock in Funko form. I think I do have him, but I have him in a mini pop. Matthew goes, Alfred Hitchcock, good pop evening. Denny, speaking of Netflix's You first season was good, but got bored with the second season. I think the reason why we got bored with You is because it's kind of the same thing. It didn't really, it just was a different scenario. So I think there was nothing exciting about it compared to like the first time we were watching it. It was like, oh my God, like I was binge watching it. Heather, whatever goes, Rear Window was free for a while on YouTube. I'm definitely going to have to check it out. It sounds interesting. Renee goes, the last season of You is terrible. I've only saw one episode, so I'm like, I haven't gone back to it. But I mean, if they're going to end something, at least end in a bang. You know what I mean? So that kind of sucks that, like, Renee's saying that it sucks. What's up, Julianne? Both are great movies, especially if you like classics. And Gunner Girl says Rear Window was a great movie. Jennifer Murray goes, I've been rather bored with movies and shows lately. Well, it seems like most of the movies that they have been coming out or announcing are remakes. So it's like, for me, it's I mean, we've already seen the movie. There's not much you can expect out of the movie. And obviously the original, with me at least, the original is always the best. You can't, especially if it was a movie in the 80s. Something about practical effects. And I guess, yeah, it's not, we don't have the technology that we have now, but I prefer the practical effects over CGI any day. And I always enjoy watching the movies more in the 80s than now. The horror movies. Renee goes, I'm just finishing Shameless and looking for something new. Believe it or not, there is a Cinderella body horror movie called The Ugly Stepsister. I have never heard of it. It's coming to Shudder for those of you that have Shudder in May, so this month, as well as Final Destination Bloodlines, where you could see the trailer right here, just remind me, where you could see Tony Todd's, I want to say, I don't know if it's his final appearance, but you're able to see him one last time in Final Destination. That also comes out this month as well. I'm probably with the Final Destination. I'm obviously going to wait for streaming because I feel like that movie, it's pretty much the same. With Final Destination, you're kind of the reason why I watch it. I just like watching the kills. I hate to say it that way, but that's the reason why I watch it. I mean, obviously the first one, because we didn't know what to expect. You were like, it's still good, even after watching it multiple times. I'm still drawn in it when I watch it. But Allie Do, what is up? Jennifer Marie goes, I'm also less likely to start something new because I'm tired of being disappointed when the writers get the ending wrong. That too, it's like sometimes, especially when they're doing something um like Star Wars, for example. It's like sometimes with the writers, they don't know what the source material, like it's like they've never watched the first 3 films that came out starting in 1977. You know what I mean? Like it seems that way with the writing. So I kind of get what you're saying there, Jennifer Marie. Matthew Covert goes, original story, the stepsisters got uh bad endings. Denny goes, yep, you did not really go anywhere and they're all nuts. Julissa says I'm a little dark. Well, I mean, I'm being honest. That's the reason why I watched Final Destination, was for the kills. You guys are like, oh my god. But because those were the ones where I'm like, and then of course it forever changes your views on logging trucks or any truck with anything on top of it, because your mind automatically goes to that movie, and I think everyone does that now since that movie came out. Allie Do is enjoying their last night off. That's super cool. Great way to spend it. Jennifer Marie's also saying, why invest my time and energy just for a massive disappointment at the end? I just watched GOT for the first time earlier this week. Basically felt like no longer watching anything since. The funny thing is, I could never get into Game of Thrones. And I've heard the disappointment with everyone that watched Games of Thrones. And I never got into it. I don't know, for some odd reason, I just could not get into it. And it's weird because I love that time period. Like, I love the Renaissance period. I love the time of kings and queens, and it's weird. Like, that I could not get into it. So there is, like I was saying, there is an acclaimed Cinderella body horror movie, The Ugly Stepsister. It goes along with it goes along with the movies that are coming out lately that have taken our beloved cartoon characters that we grew up with as a kid and making them horrified, which I'm all for it. I am all for it. The one thing, especially when they came out with the game, where the horror Alice in Wonderland game, I so loved it. And I always wish they would make a movie, which they are making a movie to go with the Pooniverse. And there's also, I think if you go to Tubi, there also is one there too. One of those lesser known B movies, which when you go to Tubi, it is a free app, by the way, guys. There is a lot of horror movies there. There's also a lot of like B movie horror movies that you've never heard of. And I scroll through them and I'm like, oh my God, they made a movie about that. That's kind of cool. But this movie goes along with that theme, kind of. I don't think it has anything to do with the Pooniverse, but I'm all for it because I think it's something different. It's better than a remake. I guess the Cinderella story kind of is a remake because we've seen it, but to be a horror Cinderella story, this I'm all in for. I don't care if it's cheesy. It's caught my attention. After arriving in theaters earlier this month from IFC Films and Shudder, Norwegian body horror film The Ugly Stepsister is now making its way home courtesy of Shudder, a twisted take on the tale of Cinderella. Writer and director Emily Blichfelt critically acclaimed horror movie, The Ugly Stepsister, debuts on Shudder next week, May 9th, 2025, for those of you that have Shudder. Shudder previews a biting satire and cinematically exhilarating directorial debut. The Ugly Stepsister is a timely examination of body image and beauty standards, identifying Emily Blechfeld as one of the most exciting new international filmmaking voices. The Ugly Stepsister follows Elvira, played by Leah Miram, as she prepares to earn the prince's affection by any cost. In Kingdom, where beauty is a brutal business, Elvira must compete with the beautiful and enchanting Agnes, played by Thea Sophia Loch Ness, to become, I think that's Loch Ness, to become the belle of the ball. The Ugly Stepsister marks the feature debut of Norwegian writer and director Emily Blechfeld and stars Leah Miram and Thea Sophie Loch Ness alongside Anne Dahl Torp. As Megan explains in a review, Blechfeld employs historically accurate medical procedures to, this sounds like crazy, like they're taking it to a crazy take, to great stomach churning effects, delivering graphic body horror by way of inflicting surgeries and what it says, all in the name of love. The filmmaker refuses to let her audience look away. Each moment of Elvira's ruthless metamorphosis from an awkward, ugly duckling into a poised stunner is drawn out to an unbelievable degree and frequently shot in extreme close-ups. Beauty is pain, and The Ugly Stepsister wants you to feel its visceral level. If it's anything like The Substance, which was also considered a body horror film, and this one also mentions extreme close-up, and The Substance, oh my god, it wasn't the close. I mean, they had a lot of camera shots that were like in the actors' faces where you could see their nose hairs. And I got why they did that, but it wasn't. I mean, you would think like the body changes and all that stuff. I'm not going to give away. Substance would have been the most disgusting part for me, but it wasn't. There is a scene, I'm not going to give it away because I know probably a lot of people haven't seen it yet, but it was just an average scene, and it would, because the camera angle was like you know focused on that certain thing, it was like, oh, that's disgusting. That was disgusting to me. So I have a feeling this movie probably does the same. You're gonna probably be able to see their nose hairs. It's elegant, stylish, and gnarly, Megan adds in her 4-star review. This film is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with a 96 thermometer score. So there is a trailer if you guys want to watch it later. But I am going to check this out. It's probably going to be, because it says it's a Norwegian film, so I'm assuming it's going to be in subtitles. So if you are not in the mood for subtitles, um, um, I usually wait when I am in a mood to read subtitles to watch a film like that. Renee, thank you for that super chat. Can someone explain Stranger Things to me, please? Hearts for Renee. The Karen show goes, The Ugly Stepsister sounds horrible. The Karen show, because I have not really watched Stranger Things. I do have a Funko Pop of it. That's about it. The Karen show. What is up, The Karen show? I only watched the first 2 or 3 episodes way back when. All I really took away from it is Matthew Modine got old, and I remember pretty Xmas lights on the wall. If you guys haven't done so, follow The Karen show. She is amazing. She kind of talks about things similar to me. So if you haven't done so already, follow The Karen show. Renee goes, what the F is that? It's sci-fi. It is, I want to say it's a mix of sci-fi horror. But I can't really explain it because I think I've only seen 1 episode, and that was when it first started. And I didn't watch anything after that. Allie Do goes, it's complicated to explain. I just say nerds, D&D, and monsters with a hint of 80s era themes. Yeah, it kind of has that nostalgia to it. I guess you could say that's what kind of. Yeah, it had nostalgia to it. Jennifer Murray goes, it's kind of like as if Dungeon and Dragons, the game, was an alternative reality terrorizing your little town. Terrible explanation, but yeah. It was big. It's kind of inspired by um I know it's inspired by a real event that actually happened. Um the Montauk Project and Project MK Ultra. It's weird. There's a musician named MK Ultra. I'm wondering if that's where he got it from. The Montauk Project. Diddy goes, ew, nose hair. No, that's the reason why I said that, because that's where the camera was. It's like, holy crap, like how close were you when you were filming? Karen Show goes, Supernatural will always be my favorite show. Nothing else, in my opinion, compares, plus lots of eye candy. I know a lot of people. I didn't watch. The funny thing is, I never watched Supernatural, and I know Supernatural was on for like 14 seasons, which is weird, but I never watched it. Allie Do goes, I also like the show Bitten, even though the CGI kind of sucked, but it had good storylines. Eye candy there too. Renee goes, I'm into more real life, like horror instead of sci-fi. And I want to say it's a mix of I want to say Stranger Things is a mix of both, but it is I want to say maybe it's probably more toward like the horror side of things, because there's a creature called the, what is it, the Demi Gordo or something like that. I'm so bad, like, because I don't watch it. I have the Funko Pop, believe it or not. The Demo Gorgon, which is kind of horrific looking. So I think it's kind of like tilting more toward the horror side than it is and it has the nostalgia to it as well. From what I remember, because I only watched I think one episode of it. Renee, a Funko Pop is what you see behind me. So all these little figurines, like the one I'm pointing to, that's a Funko Pop. The Karen show, with the Scooby, they did do a Scooby Doo crossover, because I actually watched that one, because I'm a huge fan of Scooby Doo with Supernatural. So when I saw that was coming out, I watched that. Emily goes, my daughter bought me the 15 season box set of Supernatural, my favorite show. Allie goes, what kind of got me into me and my guys were into D&D back when we were kids. So I know one of these years I'm gonna visit some of these hotels. I'm probably not gonna go through all of these because this is a super long list. And usually a lot of the times on these, it's usually hotels we most know about, and I've know some people have stayed at these hotels and they've never had an experience, but it doesn't necessarily mean that these hotels aren't haunted. Because you can't paranormal activity doesn't happen at the flick of your, like the snap of your fingers. Karen goes, when I was a kid, there was a show on TV called The Night Stalker, scared the crap out of me. So the 23, which I'm probably not going to go through all of them, scariest haunted hotels to sleep at or not. For some thrill seekers, there's something frighteningly fun about the thought of spending the night in one of the world's most haunted hotels. Whether it's the influence of the films like The Shining, which was inspired by the real life Stanley Hotel in Colorado, or the hope of a spooky encounter in a dark hallway, plenty of travelers say that paranormal activity is a must have hotel amenity. No judgment here. Traveling is all about new experiences after all. Luckily for those who crave a spine tingling chill, plenty of America's historic hotels have reported ghost sightings, an unexplained phenomenon. Marilyn Monroe's apparition has been seen at the Roosevelt in Hollywood. I've been to the Roosevelt Hotel, but I've never stayed there, but I've been to like an after party there because we went to a screening and the after party was there, but I've never really, I mean, obviously, if there's a party, you're not going to catch any paranormal happenings. Too much going on. Um, Too much going on, and you probably wouldn't be paying attention anyways. Um, so I can't really say it's haunted or not, but but reports have said that Marilyn Monroe's been sighted there. Civil War soldiers have been spotted in the Marshall House in Savannah, Georgia. Overseas, where many hotels are several century old travelers might find themselves sharing a room with the poltergeist of royals or World War II prisoners. Denny Rose, thank you for that super chat. What girl? Check out Supernatural out. You would think I would like Supernatural, and you would have thought that I actually watched it, but I didn't. Hearts for Denny Rose. Thank you, Denny Rose. I appreciate that. Karen Show goes, I have stayed at a few haunted hotels. Try as I could, nothing happened. Thank you, Gunner Girl. Nerd Report goes, I lost interest in Stranger Things. They take too long between seasons, and teen characters look like they're in their 40s now. That's exactly what I was saying. I said by the time we see it, they're gonna look like he said, in their 40s and have gray hair. Because they're taking too long. I go, at least drop 3 episodes or something. Heather, whatever, Hotel del Coronado said to be haunted. I didn't see anything. Same thing, too. They said that Hotel del Coronado down there in San Diego, they do say it's haunted by the woman in black. And she's been spotted on the beach, allegedly, looking for her long lost love. There is a hotel room there that she is reportedly haunted. I think it's the one that she had stayed in. And if you are a male staying in that hotel room, she will kind of try kind of like snuggle up with you. Um but I've never been to that hotel, and I've been always wanting to go to that hotel. I've been across the bay from it, but never been there. Intrigued, these 23 hotels are some of the creepiest real life haunted houses you can pass through this or any time of the year if you dare. The Omni Parker House, Boston, Massachusetts. Leave it to one of the longest running hotels in the US to be home to not one ghost, but two. Omni oh my God. Omni Parker House is a luxury hotel located in Boston where the spirit of its founder, Harvey Parker, is rumored to roam the halls to make sure guests are enjoying their stay. Others swear that the ghost of Charles Dickens may still linger somewhere on the third floor, adjacent to a room where the author briefly lived. The Hotel Chelsea, New York City, New York. Patti Smith, Andy Warhol, Jackson Pollock, and Madonna are among the many bold-faced names who once called the Hotel Chelsea home, but two of its famous tenants never left. While the hotel closed its doors in 2011 for renovations and reopened in 2022, former residents and employees have long noted paranormal activity from the ghost of Sex Pistols bassist Sid Vicious, who was accused of unaliving his girlfriend Nancy Spungen while they lived there, and Dylan Thomas, whose dedicated plaque on the outside of the building reads, "Dylan Thomas lived and wrote at the Chelsea Hotel, and from here he sailed out to die." The Red Lion in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. Renee goes, "I think the harder you try to connect, the less chances you'll have." Karen Cho has traveled the world, gone to many famous haunted places. Nothing I don't believe anymore. Jennifer Marie goes, "I haven't particularly stayed at any haunted hotels, but I've visited a lot of haunted places. Some places felt completely normal and fine to me." Allie Dew goes, "I've been all over Savannah. It's only 45 minutes away. I think the ghosts are terrified of me because nothing has happened." Actually, the little girl, Karen, in Stranger Things, I think she's in her 20s now, like early 20s. Denny goes, "The ghost will be too busy partying." Cheryl, what is up? How's it going? Jennifer Marie, like that one allegedly so haunted room in the Queen Mary, been in it, and it was very underwhelming. I've been on the Queen Mary, but I was super young when I went. Probably like in elementary school. Probably like fifth, like a little older elementary school when I went. And I stayed the night there, but of course, you know, when you're a kid and you're thinking, and I knew that it was haunted, I could not sleep. Because obviously, you know, when you're a kid, you're like, "Oh my God, like what's gonna pop up? Oh my God, oh my God." And I would hear noises in the hallway, but it was probably people just walking through. And I was like, "What is that?" Like, you know, when you're a kid, like everything jumps out at you. Um, Karen Show goes, "I don't believe, but does not mean I am not open to having my mind changed." I am open to the possibility, but I'm still skeptical. So it's nothing wrong. Karen Show, it's nothing wrong with not being a believer, because honestly, that makes you a better investigator. It does, because the fact that you don't believe, you're not going to jump at every sound you hear. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, "Okay, what is that?" That there's got to be some explanation to it. Like a believer, I feel like when they're in a haunted location, like they'll jump to something automatically, going, "Oh my God, that's like," say like it's a place. I'm going to use Lady in White because there's always a lady in white. "Oh my God, that's the lady in white. She's known to haunt this area." You know, I feel like a believer would automatically jump to that conclusion when it was probably like the cat outside brushing up against the brush. You know what I mean? Or, you know, something like a simple explanation to it. Jennifer Murray goes, "The Winchester House, another place the energy was completely normal. I'm very sensitive feeling presence, but some of these famous haunted places, there's just nothing." Allie Dew goes, "Exactly. Got to debunk whatever you can too." So the Red Lion Inn, Stockbridge, Massachusetts. The Red Lion Inn in Stockbridge, Massachusetts has had its share of visits from paranormal investigators and mediums. They say the fourth floor in particular has the most activity, and it's not just the paranormal professionals who make these claims. Both cleaning staff and guests have reported seeing a ghostly young girl carrying flowers and a man in a top hat. Guests have also said they have woken to feeling of someone standing over them at the foot of the bed. The Cadogan Hotel, London, England. Cadogan. Hopefully I said that correctly. Chelsea's Chic Cadogan. Hotel is well known for being a celebrity haunt. Artists, models, and tastemakers have all stayed at the Belmond owned property, and perhaps most famously, Oscar Wilde was arrested here in room 118 for gross indecency. I don't want to know what he was doing in 1895, but this was in 1895, so gross indecency was probably a little, probably what we're thinking of it today is probably nothing back then, but they were making, but back then it was like big. Because I'm thinking gross indecency. What did he do? And then it goes in 1895, and I'm like, ah. The historic hotel is, of course, also well known for being haunted, though apparently Wilde isn't the ghost that's regularly seen. Instead, the tales of hauntings usually revolve around a friend of Wilde, actress and socialite Lily Langtry, who at one time also owned the property. Though she died in 1929, she's often spotted in the hotel's restaurant, especially around Christmas when there are fewer crowds. Allie, do have actually been to Tombstone. I would love to go back. It's the town too tough to die. I had a blast. I just remember it being hot. I think the last time I went, I was like 12. I think it was the summer between I had just graduated from elementary school going into junior high school. That's how long ago it was. And I had the shirt and I used to wear it everywhere. I would love to go back. But at that time I wasn't really into like, you know, thinking, oh my God, that place is haunted. Like at the time I just went in and I was like, oh, this place is cool. But I would like to go back. It was a cool place to visit. Jennifer Burry goes, every cemetery I visited at night has also been very underwhelming. So the Deep Gin Big Sur Inn in Big Sur, California, according to American Horror Story hotel set designer Ellen Brill, this charming old, hold on, it's saying update. I don't want it to turn off. I don't want the computer to turn off on me. Oops, that would be great. This charming old cabin in the woods is haunted by the friendly ghost of its founder, lovingly referred to as Grandpa Deachin. Brill says she heard footsteps and a door slam and started to freak out. The place certainly looks a little spooky, tucked amidst the lush redwoods of the NorCal coast. The hotel rooms have wood paneling and a decidedly grandma core aesthetic. If that's not enough creep factor for you, the nearby Point Sur Lighthouse allegedly houses the spirits of deceased sailors and seamen and offers moonlight tours and ghost hunts throughout October. Diabolical Debbie, what is up? It's weird, because you guys are talking about cemeteries. It's whenever I drive by a cemetery, there's one in particular, it's Forest Lawn. I know Forest Lawn isn't one of those cemeteries that has the super old headstones and stuff like that, but whenever I drive by it, I always feel super calm. Don't ask me why. I always do. So I it's always weird, but I always think, oh God, the people at that cemetery, the spirits must be at peace. Because I always feel calm when I drive through by it. It's weird. The Driscoll, Austin, Texas. Texas is home to many ghost tours, but the top spot on every ghost chaser's list is the popular downtown hotel. President Lyndon B. Johnson is just one of the famous spirits that is said to wander the grounds. He and his wife had their first date here in 1934, and he also watched the results of the 1964 presidential election from the presidential suite after he won. LBJ celebrated in the grand ballroom. Before that, a 4-year-old child toppled down the grand staircase to their death in 1887. Paranormal investigators have reportedly managed to catch the faint sounds of a ball ping-ponging against the wall while a mischievous voice giggles. However, perhaps the best known ghosts are the pair of jilted brides, each of whom took their own life while staying in room 329 a few decades apart. Renee goes, I'm quite clairvoyant and I do see my brother who has passed, but nothing dark. Julissa goes, I grew up in a town next to Tacoma, California. It's a town that is mostly cemeteries. I never felt anything. Denny's asking, have I ever watched the Grim Life Collective? The YouTubers, yeah. If that's who you're referring to. So the Emily Morgan Hotel, San Antonio, Texas. The Emily Morgan was built in 1929 and originally operated as a medical facility with floors 12 and 14 acting as the hospital and surgery areas. Guests have reported sightings of these floors, mainly of a woman in a white dress, always someone in white, and a mysterious phone calls in the middle of the night with no one on the other end. The hotel is also situated directly next to the Alamo, a historic gravesite of fallen soldiers that is also rumored to be haunted. The Omni Shoreham Hotel, Washington, D.C. The Omni Shoreham Hotel is one of Washington, D.C.'s most historic and allegedly most haunted hotels. In an oft-told tale dating back to the early 20th century, a young girl and a maid both died of mysterious causes in one of the hotel suites. Since then, guests have reported hearing bizarre, unexplained noises coming from the part of the hotel where they passed away that fateful night. That's a cool looking hotel. I feel like no matter what, even if you don't experience anything, I always feel like hospitals, because there's so much death in hospitals. There's also the beginning of life in hospitals too, so it's kind of like a full circle too. But I always feel like because of that, there has to be something in a hospital. Um, Especially, I know there are some hospitals here in LA that's been around or open for a very long time, and I'm like, oh. Denny Rose goes, my hubby and I almost bought a house next to a cemetery. Oh, that would have been super cool. Diabolical Debbie, I reside near Australia's largest cemetery with over 1 million graves. It includes 130 gardens, crematoriums, crypts, mausoleums, restaurants, cafes, Rockwood Cemetery. That's actually kind of cool. Julianne goes, I've seen more in care homes than hospitals. You're probably right, Julianne. I don't like Jennifer Marie. I get where you're coming from. I don't like hospitals, period. Um, like hospitals, not like a Kaiser hospital. I feel like a Kaiser hospital is a little different, but a hospital, um, especially one that has the menacing look on the outside, I do not like. The Don Caesar, St. Petersburg, Florida, with its Gatsby era pink facade and white sand beachfront, the Don Caesar doesn't seem very creepy at first, but the more you get to know this Grand Costa Hotel, the more intriguing it becomes. It was built in 1929 as a tribute to Lucinda, the lost love of a real estate mogul, Thomas Rowe, who died in the lobby in 1940. Apparently, Rowe still searches the ground, searching for his beloved Lucinda. And some guests even say it's possible he's found her. Reports of a ghostly couple has been spotted on the property as well. No wonder the spot is considered one of the state's most romantic, if also haunted, hotels. Speaking of the Hotel del Coronado in San Diego, California, the most famous ghost with the mostest, no, I'm just kidding, in San Diego is said to haunt the Hotel del Coronado, a historic hotel that opened in 1888. The ghost is Kate Morgan, who has haunted the hotel since 1892, the year she checked in to allegedly await the arrival of her con artist husband, who never showed up. 4 days later, a dismissal and pregnant Kate was found unalived at the bottom of an outdoor staircase leading to Coronado Beach with a self-inflicted pew-pew wound to the head. Her ghost is often seen in a black lace dress on the beach, as well as in the now infamous room she stayed in, room 3327, where her initials are said to randomly appear on the ceiling. I'm going to read one more, guys, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. Only because this says Jekyll. The Jekyll Island Club result, Jekyll Island, Georgia, once a playground for America's wealthiest families, including the Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers, and the Morgans, to name a few. The historic Georgia resort opened in 1888 as a recreational club. Some say you can still feel the presence of previous prestigious guests today. For example, as you stroll by San Souci Cottage, you just might catch a whiff of cigar smoke in the air while the ghost of financier J.P. Morgan enjoys a few puffs outside of his former residence. One of these days, I will visit a haunted hotel and stay at one, because I've never really actually stayed at one. Diabolical Debbie also says the cemetery is also the largest heritage listed Victorian cemetery in the world. Wendy Corn, what is up? All right, guys, I'm going to open it up for question. And as always, I forgot to mention Skeleduck. He's somewhere in my background. I'll give you a few minutes to look for him. If you don't know who Skeleduck is, he is located. Give me 1 second as I find. He is located in my upper right-hand corner. It's probably going to be your upper left-hand corner. I hide him in my background. He is not the one where my finger is pointed. That is his brother that goes to the gym. But he is somewhere in this background. I'll give you a few minutes to look for him. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the stream. But there he is. But I'll give you a few minutes to look for him. Nerd Report goes, have you also noticed that Justin Baldoni has many asshole supporters? I don't follow Jason Baldoni or all that. I don't know. I've never been into that type of drama, I guess you could say. Jennifer Marie goes, I've been on vacation for so long I didn't even notice Baldoni was still relevant. Allie Do goes, well, there are plenty of assholes in this world nowadays. Matthew goes, bald Ani. Carol has found Skeleduck already. I can never get past Carol, ever. One of these days I will. Karen Show goes, I'm off to Vietnam next week. I'm going to go down into the tunnel systems they used during the war. Could be that is super cool, Karen. Have fun. That sounds like an adventure. And I've never been to Vietnam. I don't know if I ever will. I just, me and planes don't mix. I don't think I can withstand a plane ride that long. Karen, though, I think Vietnam is probably a little closer to you than me. Cheryl has found Skeleduck. Karen Show goes, thankfully it's only an 8-hour flight for me. That is not bad. I think for us it's like a 20-hour flight, probably. I'd be dying. But no, Karen, have fun. That sounds like an awesome trip. And it's probably going to be humid. I'm not a fan of humidity too, but have fun. For sure. Allie Do goes, I'm more of a Scotland or Ireland gal. Don't know about those other places. Matthew goes, before you could Back to the Future 2 had a poster surf Vietnam, and you actually could now and in 2015. Denny Rose goes Paris, France to visit the catacombs. If I could withstand, I'm just not an airplane gal. It's got to be drivable to me. I'm more of a road trip gal. I like to get in the car and road trip. I'll give you a few more minutes to look for Skeleduck. And as always, that is not the one where my finger's pointing, is not Skeleduck. Nerd Report! Thank you for being a member of the Wolf Pack for 24 months. Baldoni talks to people's dead dad. Hearts for Nerd Report. Thank you for being a member, and thank you for the support. Julissa goes, what about traveling on a cruise ship? I've done that. It's been a while, but I've done it. I've been to Ensenada on a cruise ship. I actually kind of like cruise ships. But a lot of the cruise ships lately, you have to go somewhere. You have to fly to go to some places. Renee goes, we need to do an intervention for Lewis. The Karen Show goes, Scotland is fabulous. The Highlands were stunning. That's one of the places on my bucket list, actually, is Ireland, England, and Scotland. Since I was a kid, I've always wanted to go to those places. And I feel like that's a place where, obviously, I have roots in Ireland, family roots there. So I've always wanted to go. And I feel like that's a place where I would feel at home, because that's my type of scenery. I love scenery. I love countryside. I love the weather. Probably wouldn't be too bad either for me. I'm not like a beach, tropical, humidity type of girl. Julissa goes, no, you could drive to Long Beach or San Diego to get on a cruise. Oh, okay. I do know a lot of them, because a lot of them I see you have to go to Florida to get on a cruise ship. I'm like, nope. Allie Dew goes, been to Ireland. Scotland is next on my list. I'm a McDonald. And then I also do know, I think my last name has English roots to it too, as well. But I know for sure Ireland because my grandmother's mother came here from Ireland. So I am an Irish. I have some Irish in me somewhere. Julianne goes, I would love to go to the UK, but I'll never get to. Why not? Why not, if you don't mind me asking, Julianne? Matthew goes, would love to see Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and England. Shamanistic Unicorn Tam, what is up? Karen goes, I saw one really handsome man in Scotland. He was on Loch Ness boat. I asked him why he was not wearing a kilt. He said, because I'm English. Gotcha. Yeah, Julianne, gotcha. I think that's why I get it with the money thing. That's it's the same with me too. All right, guys, Skeleduck is right there. It is hiding behind my critter. It's right where my finger is pointing. If I could move that out of the way, he is right there. He's literally poking out behind the critter that I have right there. And that is where you could see his beak right where my finger. He kind of blends into the background. I should actually have that thing out. It says stay spooky on it. I should just have it out in the background, but I covered it with my critter. But that is where Skeleduck is. Right there. Jennifer Murray goes, he's getting too good at hiding. Yeah, he's spying on you guys. The Karen sure goes, that's why I'm off to Vietnam. Super cheap to fly and stay. I don't think a lot of people go to Vietnam. That might be why. Julianne goes, I see it now. Julissa goes, I could not find the duck. I still didn't get past Carol though, and I was hoping to get one day, Carol. The Karen show goes, I could never find the bloody duck. I even forget where I put it. That's how bad it is. Like, I came in here and I'm like, where the heck did I put it the last time? And I was like, oh. Like, I had to think about it when I came in here. I was like, where did I put it? I'm tired today, guys. That's it. I was like, Juliango, my cousin's two sons are in Vietnam right now. That's where their father is from. Super cool. Denny Rose goes, my hubby is Irish and Scottish, and I'm mixed Irish, Scottish, French, Breton, Italian. They plan to retire there in a few years. They got a house and everything. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I read two. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Okay, Denny goes, Breton, Italian from North and South, German and Aboriginal with a touch of New Finesse. And Ali Do goes, the Philippines are too, but my coworker and friend's wife is from there. They plan to retire there in a few years. They got a house and everything. I was reading two comments at the same time. Thank you, Diabolical Debbie, for dropping by. And I want to give a shout out to Denny Rose for your PayPal. I didn't want to say your name. That's why I was like, okay, who is this? Thank you, Denny Rose, as well as Emily Parkinson for your YouTube, for your PayPal. Hearts for Emily Parkinson and Denny Rose. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Any last minute questions before I end this stream? And I have a long day ahead of me at work tomorrow because I'm working both the morning shift and the afternoon shift. And I'm already tired today. Thank you, Karen Show. You too. Allie Do, thank you for that super sticker. Hearts for Allie Do, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Carol, thank you. Great show, Lisa. Julissa, thank you. Thank you so much, Lisa. All right, guys, without further ado, I'm going to end this edition of Grayson Report. I will see you on the next one, guys. Stay spooky and sweet nightmares. Good night, guys, and have a great rest of your week. See you on the next one. Thank you, guys.